What's going on? It's yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. How's everybody doing out there? Ladies and gentlemen, I challenge Steven Spielberg or any horror film writer out there. I challenge you to script up a more terrifying ending to a film if you are a Demar Derazon or a Demar Derazon fan. On Saturday night, I believe this was the worst day of Demar Derazon's career. Not his life or anything like that, but just his basketball career. As the Denver Nuggets eliminated the San Antonio Spurs in 7 games in Denver, Colorado, Demar Derazon, one of the premier players for the San Antonio Spurs, not only struggled from the field, he had some turnovers, and now his season ends as he puts up 19 points. It took him 21 shots to get that 19 points. And this narrative will now continue over DeMar DeRozan's head that he's a really, really good regular season performer. But in the postseason, he's average at best. And if you got an intense team defensively guarding DeRozan, you can get in his head, psych him out his game, and for the otherwise win the game. It happened again. Spurs lose to the Nuggets. Same narrative that's been happening to DeRozan-led teams the last 5 to 7 years. A few hours before that, a team that DeMar DeRozan had spent his entire career on before this season, the Toronto Raptors. Already in the next round of the playoffs, while DeMar DeRozan is struggling to get out of the first round, the Toronto Raptors, led now by Kawhi Leonard, who coincidentally was traded straight up and down pretty much for DeMar DeRozan last summer. Kawhi Leonard scores a career-high 45 points to lead the Toronto Raptors to a 1-0 lead against a tough Philadelphia 76ers team. So, on one part of the country, I got DeMar DeRozan in Denver, Colorado, on the road, high as I don't know what with that altitude, struggling to get out of the first round, and ended up losing 19 points. On the other side, I got Kawhi Leonard at home in Toronto getting a standing ovation by that Raptors fan base that at one point in time was crying and boo-hooing over the DeMar DeRozan trade. This is bad for the DeMar DeRozan brand. As bad as it gets. DeMar was torn when the Raptors, behind his back, decided to trade him after reportedly telling him multiple times that he would not be traded in the summer of 2018. He gave his life to Toronto. He re-signed in Toronto. His best friend Kyle Lowry was also an all-star in Toronto. And Toronto traded him just like that. For a player that, guess what? DeMar knows he's not better than. A finals MVP when healthy. A better scorer than DeMar DeRozan. A better defender than DeMar DeRozan. Just an overall better player than DeMar DeRozan. Now Kawhi is leading the team. He's bringing the best out of guys who've never been good players. Pascal Siakam's now playing at an all-star level. Kyle Lowry's not slumping like he usually does in the playoffs. New head coach got that team up and gunning. And DeMar DeRozan, with arguably the greatest head coach of all time, Greg Popovich, couldn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. That, my friends, is a horror film for DeMar DeRozan. That is the worst case scenario for his season to end. And yeah, I couldn't have wrote a better ending if you're a fan of horror movies. A more terrific ending if you're a fan of horror movies. A disgustingly bad ending if you're a DeMar DeRozan or a DeRozan fan. He's out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yeah, we locked in right now, Mr.
Mr.Taliaferro.
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 Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr.Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr.Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV. Here with the Triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.